All right. We have Chapter 2, Section 3. We're cruising through this. I think there's, if I remember right, is there only 3 sections to this? What's that? Oh, there's 7 sections. 7 sections, and we're already on 3. I'm telling you, we're flying through this. Before you know it, before you know it, we're going to have, really? A test. No, not a test. An assessment. You're going to get even? Okay. All right. What this basically is we're going to learn about linear functions and a slope-intercept form. You've done the slope-intercept form before, haven't you? Yep. Geometry. What is it? Y equals mx plus b. So we're going to take a linear equation and we're going to make that into the slope-intercept form. This is an example of it. Here's the equation right here. 3x minus 4y equals 20. All right? First thing we want to do is we want to solve for y, because this is what the equation we want it to end up looking like. Mx plus b. All right? So, no. Not that I know of. Probably not. So we're going to take this. First thing we have to do here is we are going to get the x over to the other side of the equation. We've done this before, right? Solve for something. So we're going to subtract 3x from both sides, right? And we end up with a minus 4y equals minus 3x plus 20. Are we getting close to what we need right here? Are we getting close to what we need right here? In this one? Okay. Let's stay on topic. All right. So next thing we have to do is we have to set this to y equals something, right? So now we have to divide by, we're multiplying by negative 4 here. Now we have to divide each one of these by negative 4. And when we do that, we come up with this. Negative 4's cancel out here. We got a negative 3 over negative 4, which is 3/4. And then we divided. Okay. We divided here. 20 divided by negative 4 is a minus 5. What do we get out of that? Here's what we get out of when we do this. Clear. Slide this down. When we look at this equation right here, we know what our slope is, all right? And we know that's where the slope is, and we know where the y-intercept is. And where the y-intercept is where, if you look at an xy axis, here's your y, here's your x. It's when x equals 0, and in this case, negative 5. So we'd count down 5 here. And that's where our line, if we were going to graph this, that's where our line intercepts that y-axis. If we wanted to graph this, what is the slope really? When we talk about slope in 3/4, what is that really? Rise over run. So rise means it's up the y-axis, how much? 3. 1, 2, 3. And it's over how many? 4. If we did that, we could graph our line. All right? That's how hard it would be to graph a line, knowing if we have this slope-intercept form. It starts off with something that's actually called the standard formula. If you take a look up here, all right, you've got three different forms up here. You have the standard form, AX plus BY equals C. And over here you have the slope-intercept form, Y equals MX plus B. And then you have your point-slope form. All right? We're not going over that right now. But those top two, I can come up with each one of those equations that are on that little poster right there. If I want to do the slope, the standard form, all right, which is what they showed you initially right here. This is a standard form, right? Standard form is going to be AX plus BY equals C. My A in this case is my 3. My B in this case is -4. And my C is 20. All right? What we did is we figured it down to this, which is your slope-intercept. All right? And my slope-intercept is Y equals MX plus B. Or B like this. That's a D. Okay? Which in this case here, 3/4 is my slope, and my -5 is my y-intercept. All right? You're golden with that? You got that locked? Fletcher's so into this. Anyone in here? Okay. We're not going to worry about that because that's what we just did. All right. We went over the standard form, which is AX plus BY equals C. We went over the slope-intercept form, which is Y equals MX plus B. Next is going to be the point, or this, actually this is going to be the slope, which is slope is right here. M equals Y minus, remember it's always Y over X. So Y2 minus Y1, X2 minus X1 is your slope. You got your slope formula right there. We have 2 points. We should be able to figure out what the slope is. Why did you do that to me? All right, I should be able to figure out the slopes. Can you, if you have to write this down on paper, it's this way. M equals, I'm going to go 0 minus 1 over, no, as long as you go in the same order. All right, you can go from this one to this one, you know, go 0 to 3, 1 to 0, or you can go backwards, as long as you go in the same order. And then I'm going to go 3 minus 0. So what would my slope be for that? -1/3. Now, you can do it on paper. It works great. Okay? I want you guys to start thinking a little bit more in your head to be able to figure this out. Paper is good. If you have to do it in paper. But here's what I want to start seeing you guys do. If you can, do it in paper, if not else. I'm going to look at, I always know that it's Y over X, right? My slope. What's the difference between my X's and Y's? Or my 2 Y's? If I go 1 to 0, it's 1. What's the difference here? If I go 0 minus 3? -3, right? 0 minus 3. See it in your head. 0 minus 3, 1 minus 0. All right? If you can start seeing that in your head, you can start figuring out the slope real quick instead of having to write it down. But make sure that you do that and you can do it correctly. And if you don't feel confident about it, then write it like this. y2 minus y1, or y1 minus y2, doesn't matter. It just has to be consistent. If you say y2 minus 1, then you got to do x2 minus x1. If you say y1 minus y2, then it has to be x1 minus x2. Okay, it has to be consistent that way. All right. Let's take a look at number 3. In your head, what would be the slope of number 3? Remember, you're subtracting. Negative 3 minus 1. Turn the lights off. So, what's negative 2 minus 6? Negative 2 minus 6. Negative 2 minus 6. Negative 8, right? Negative 8. What's negative 3 minus 1? Negative 4. Negative 3 minus 1. Okay? Start working on it. It's stuff to work on. So what would it be? Nope. We divide, negative 4 goes in negative 8 how many times? 2 times, right? Negative times negative is positive, so it'd just be 2. Let's take a look at number 5. Try it in your head. On top, what's going to be on top? Negative 5 minus 2. 7. 3 minus 2. What? I'm going to put you and Preston in a room together. No. That's as far as we can go right there. There's what your slope would be for that one. All right. Let's do number 7. What's the slope? What's the slope for number 7? What's the top one? We're going 3 minus of minus 3. 0 over. It's subtracting. It's minus 3 minus a minus 3. It would be equal 0. It'd be like minus 3 plus 3. What's on the bottom? Minus 3 minus a minus 1. Minus 3 minus a minus 1 would be minus 3 plus 1, negative 2. What kind of slope is this? No slope. Zero slope. All right. Where you're having your problems is adding and subtracting negative numbers. Okay. Here's the way to think about this. If I subtract two numbers, right? Minus 3 minus 2 minus 5. If I see the two same signs here, then I'm going to add these two and I'm going to put up whatever the sign is on there, right? 3 plus 2 is 5. Since it's negative, we put negative. If I have negative 3 or plus 1, now I have two opposite signs, right? I'm going to subtract the 2 and I'm going to put the sign of the largest one on there. This would be negative 2. All right. That's all we're going to do for today. All right. The assignments. The assignment that I want you to work on. Let's go into assignments here. Write the equation line. Don't even worry about it. We're not doing the assignment. We're not doing assignment for tomorrow. Well, you're already doing it? Do you know that if you want to do the assignment, you need to use this point slope form here? And you should know how to do it because we've been doing it.